God is in the details. During the last 7 years before I retired, I worked as a project manager for the implementation of Treasury services for my clients. It was my responsibility to create and maintain a project plan with a strict timeline to ensure timely tasks and project completions. Without delving too deeply, I will state that the project plan included all of the comprehensive details, drilling down to each task to be addressed. As I study the Word of God, I am equally intrigued with the level of detail that God engages in. I don't want to make it sound trite or insignificant because I fully recognize and acknowledge that God is holy and His every involvement is to perfection. However, when I read the creation story in the first chapter of Genesis, I am amazed at the depiction of the earth being formless, empty, and dark in verse 2. Then as the days and the verses progress, by His holy authority, God called for light and then made the distinction between day and night. He separated the sky from dry land, introduced vegetation to the earth, then strategically placed the sun and moon to distinguish the seasons, days, and years. Finally, God allowed the earth to produce living creatures, and ultimately He created Adam and Eve. The Bible contains other examples of God's attentiveness in the details. For example, in Genesis 6:14 through 16, when He instructs Noah on the dimensions of the ark. He specifically communicates to Noah to use gopher wood. It was to be 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high, with lower, middle, and upper decks and a door on the side of the ark. Understanding that until now there had never been rain, therefore no need for a vessel of this magnitude, God provided Noah with everything he needed to be successful. Yet another exemplification of God's detailed expertise was the constructing of the tabernacle, found in chapters 25 through 27 of Exodus. This time, an ark of Acacia wood, 45 inches long, 27 inches wide, and 27 inches high was the goal. He instructs on the gold overlays and the placement of the cherubim, the intricate details on the lampstand, inclusive of the ornamental cups shaped like almond blossoms with bud and petals on the branch. The list continues throughout these chapters. I used to wonder why God would even care about the measurements and colors of the curtains, but now I know there was purpose. In the New Testament, Mark 14 provides yet another example when the disciples asked Jesus where He wanted them to go to prepare the Passover meal. Jesus methodically instructed them to 1. Go to the city, 2. Meet the man with the jar of water and follow him, 3. Deliver his message to the owner of the house. There are certainly more instances in the Bible for consideration. However, a personal memory that I hold on to is when God assigned me to write an anthology. He knew the fear and apprehension I held in my heart regarding my writing, so He manipulated the circumstances to where I felt I had no choice. From the second I accepted the challenge, God moved quickly. Within moments, the title and theme were unveiled, and I understood completely what message I wanted to convey to the reader. He also revealed a list of people to approach about contributing to my project, and when asked, everyone said yes. In approximately 90 days, the finished product arrived on my front porch, and my writing career took off in a new direction. God is in the details. All that I've written thus far has been evidence that God is involved in every aspect of life, beginning with the very existence of this world as we know it. Everything originated from His hand as the creator, and consequently everything that happens pertaining to it is within His control. This principle extends to those things in our life that we would regard as insignificant. There are people who would be reluctant to pray to the Father about trivial matters, believing that they shouldn't bother Him with such. However, Luke 12:7 informs us that the very hairs on our heads are numbered, demonstrating that God reigns over every detail pertaining to every person and thing. Absolutely nothing occurs outside of his providential rule and without purpose. When you have a universal view of all things, as God does, the details matter. Systematically, they are dotted here and there as notes on a sheet of music, producing the sweet melody and chords the master desires. Never underestimate the God's instruction when he speaks to you. And remember that even if you don't understand, as perhaps Noah didn't, be obedient and trust him because the details really do matter. Point of power. The steps of the godly are directed by the Lord. He delights in every detail of our lives. Psalms 37:32, the New Living Translation.